But as I said, I mean, even for me, if I do my work the way I do it, it takes some time to find also these brands, right? So I understand the consumer who says, like, I type in sustainable fashion in Google, and the first things I see is Stella McCartney, Patagonia, and Pangaya, maybe, or something like that. So it's always the same thing, right? But you want to get to the point where you have this family-owned business like yours, then of course connected around the world. Then Google is SEO driven, so maybe these smaller brands you won't find them. But then thanks to social media, we're able to find these one maybe by coincidence, right? Somebody likes that, somebody shares a reel, da 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 da. So we're all grateful for this because otherwise, to be very honest, you and me most probably we wouldn't be talking today.
Exactly, that's the whole point. And especially when you say about the drops. So in what
Yeah,
we're doing in Zayshin, and that's what we have planned, it is that we're gonna be having our core collection, which
yeah,
we have chosen the colors for our products very, carefully because we chose
yeah,
black and white. That's universal
yeah. No brainer.
that. Then we have deep burgundy, we have emerald green,
Oh, yeah,
and
cool.
purple, rolling anything, like every month, like 7 drops or 10 drops every month. It's not gonna work like that because
Yeah.
that's what we are against to. Even though once in a month or twice in a month or even quarterly, I was actually planning to find something unique in the industry that we can present to the people if they want to go beyond the core collection, they can get something new or to add to their taste. So
Yeah.
that's a plan that I have in my mind, and I got a lot of, compliments about this idea, and people were saying it is very good actually because
Yeah.
it's gonna be wasting. We have the core collection that people can be wearing, and it's gonna be a very good choice because everybody will be able to do that. It's unisex, men, women, and we have all the colors too, right? So this is a thing, and the same I come at the same place about the Germany. You were saying that people have
Yeah.
perspective, that's a serious perspective. So so I was actually a little bit right. They're too serious, but
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
I think I'm not, the average German person. I think my parents neither, even though, like, I mean, I studied in Paris, as I said, I was also in Ghana, so I've seen a little bit of the world. I'm very open-minded and so on. But my parents, they didn't, they lived in Germany. I mean, they're traveling a lot right now, but they haven't lived in a different country also. But still, I was raised with the mindset to be like very open to basically anybody or anything,
Yeah.
always be very kind and all of that stuff, right? This can get you in trouble though too, by the way, if you're always this kind person and stuff like this is also is
People.
so yeah, don't get me started there. But anyways, it's better to be I'm still very proud to be on that side of the road.
Yeah,
And I'm
because
very convinced this is, staying humble and kind is the way forward, no matter if there are people who, deceive you during the process and all of that. So that's
right,
I think that's called life, so it's happening.
right. I also have the same mindset, and I believe because you shared the same thing, and I think it is true. When you see different cultures, when you travel,
Yeah,
your mindset changes. You're ready to adopt new things.
it absolutely does.
You're open-minded to learn more. When you're, at the same place for a whole of your life or the most of the time, you're not open to more things, to adopt new things.
Yeah.
Times it is actually, I believe, a very good thing. Even though if you're staying at the same place, at least open-minded, see what the people are talking about and try to observe. If you have questions, just ask them.
I think it's just harder, to be honest, because if you experience messy things and situations, when you go back to your very organized, structured life, whatever that might look like for you, you remember things very vividly if you experience them.
Right.
And I believe you have more, I don't know, I think you're more kind maybe or more understanding of what it could be to be like in a troubled situation or something like that, right?
Yeah, you're more ready because you're already been to the messy places.
Because what it comes to mind, this has nothing to do with fashion, but like when I went to Ghana, first time ever in Africa, by the way, then student, and my parents never been to Africa, so you can, think about like my parents are like, oh my goodness, and she's the white person there, as if I'm the first white person to be on this continent, right? So, and of course, I was like, yeah, I mean, to be very honest with you, I didn't have a clue of what I'm doing there, to be honest, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to Africa, and then I would, be going with a friend of mine who studied with me was actually from Congo. So
Okay.
she had a French accent because she's from Congo. So, and obviously she was black. So then we went there to Ghana. And at the end of the day, so first, there's a couple of things I learned, right? Right in the beginning when we got there, like the first night, I wanted to try, and we had actually a really nice, like a house we're also working at a bank there. We
Mhm.
had a house, and everybody else had like one room and one separate bathroom and so on. And I wanted to try out the toilet, just if it was working. So I pressed the button. When I pressed the button, it was very humid when we got there. Like the thing completely exploded and the water just went all over. Like the complete bathroom was underwater. And I was looking at that, and it was like, I don't know, like 6 p.m. or something. And I'm like, when is that next flight going back home? That was really like, I'm going to stay here for 3 months. How the hell am I going to? This is not what's. And then I went downstairs to her and I said, like, okay, if I really need to use the toilet, I have to come to you because like my toilet's broken. She's like, what the hell did you do? We just got here. And I'm like, Amber. So, anyways, so it took me, 1 or 2 days to basically get like the handy person in. And you know what the guy did? So basically, they had these two things they put in together, like these rohre. I don't know how to say in English. They put it together. And then he put, because it was like, I don't know, like it was moving so much, or I think it was like the wrong things he got. So he put them together, but it was too much space here and there. Like they were, so, anyways, so
Yep.
then he put some stuff around it, which I would call, wait a second, in German, I would say Knete. I don't know how this word is. Dough, putty, dough, some dough.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the dough. Like
yeah.
kids play with dough, right?
Right, right, right.
Yeah, so he put stuff like that around.
Oh, wow.
And because it was so humid, of
Uh,
course, this never dried, right? And then he said to me, oh, whenever this moves, move this a little here and there with the dough. And you know what? He was right. And I did check every time after I used the toilet, it never broke again, but you would always have to. This is the way you handle things. So just saying, like, this is the way they handle things there. So I remember, like, when my parents told me, like, oh, we wanted to visit and da da da. And I said, you can come, but you have to stay at least 1 week because the thing is, what I learned from the first day onwards, so things are running here just differently, and they're fine the way they're running. Like these people live here, that's all good. But if you come, you have to have as much respect and time for they deal with things differently. And what we would call like, oh my goodness, how can you live like this? It's just the way they live. And to be honest, like the faster you adapt, the easier it will be.
right.
So, and that's why I said coming here for a weekend, don't even come because it's a cultural shock, right? It takes you a bit to get it used to. Like if we say in Germany a bus is full, they would put 200 more people there in. I'm not kidding. Like there are people like standing next to just holding their hands and just like it, right? From all of these countries. It's like normal,
Right.
like in Asia too, right?
Exactly.
And then we talk about here like the safety measures. Like who the fuck cares? There's no safety measures. So you want to get on the bus or not?
Full of adventures over there. Yes, that's the thing I was talking about. You see those people living like that, and when we come to our country back here and we see this thing, and we're so blessed. We know
Yeah, but
nothing.
also, wait a second. What I also learned very in the beginning that they're so joyful. They're so grateful.